I also, and I'm not going to say who told me this, but I have very good knowledge, and I don't want people to freak out and say that things are fixed and all this other stuff, because they're not. But I guarantee you, last year, who made the Final Four last year, Jackson? Who were the teams? You had UConn.
Yep, UConn, San Diego State, Miami, and Florida Atlantic.
So 2 of those are essentially mid majors, and you had an ACC school and a Big East school. I have on good authority that the NCAA tournament is like, that ain't happening this year.
Well, honestly,
They don't want it to happen. It's great. Listen, I think people love the underdog, right? Don't you love when you see an underdog team? Where do you hate the underdog? Where do you hate it?
I love the underdogs. I just don't like
But
it when they get at my teams.
right, you don't like it when they beat your teams. And so my point is like that. But then the reason why the NCAA tournament hates it is because they love it for ratings in those first, second, third, even Elite Eight. But when it gets to the Final Four, and these are the only 2 standalone games, they don't want San Diego State and UConn in the final. They want Kansas, UConn, Duke, and North Carolina, because those are 4 pretty much blue bloods to go in. And then you have all these fan bases, and everyone, even casual fans, watch. But if you have Butler and UConn again, I'm watching. Butler crazy fan is watching. You're watching. But my, mother-in-law is probably not watching. But she would watch because some, people at bars, like, it's just a ratings thing. No one's saying they're going to fix it, but I would imagine Purdue gets propped up more than anything I've ever seen in my life. How many times Zach Edey gets fouled in a game? It's like Shaq from 1994. It's kind of amazing. So I don't see them losing early unless something absolutely wild happens.
I'll definitely be keeping my eye on that. But I do wish we could see like more mid majors in like the Final Fours and like not more non blue bloods. I think it's great for the game.
I mean, I'm with you there. I listen. I covered mid-major basketball. I think there's a lot of teams that deserve a shot. I think big time college basketball ends up taking really a shortcut in the regular season, because I don't know how much you know about this, but like the scheduling of college basketball is done years in advance. And if I'm a really talented mid-major in, let's say, the Big South, High Point's had a great year. Right in my backyard, if they try to schedule someone to come play at High Point at this beautiful arena on their campus, probably holds like 5,000 or 6,000. It's unbelievable. First class facility. They're not getting anybody to come. You have to go to the road, and you have to play a bye game against Kentucky, against Duke, against whoever. Even if you're a good team, sometimes you don't even get those bye games. People don't want to lose to you. So it's a double-edged sword. So it's like, oh, you didn't play anybody. It's like, well, no one wants to play us. So that's the problem sometimes, the inequities of college basketball. I mean, I'm a UConn fan. They're at the top, but I've seen the other side of it too.
Oh man, that's pretty cool that you worked at mid major basketball. That's pretty. That is so.
Yeah, it's definitely, listen, if you love basketball, you can find joy in almost every level. So is mid-major basketball the same talent as me, turning on a game and watching UConn play Marquette or Creighton on FS1? No, but to sit there front and center in the media pit or whatever, and cover games for a conference or a game, and see some really fantastic players is always a fun time too.